Okay, hello everybody. I have no idea what is going on. The You can see what's on the screen, but it won't let me in. All it says on my mobile is leave event. It doesn't, and I've tried. I've left the event. I've signed up again 4 times now. I've closed down both apps, opened them up again, and nothing seems to be happening. Now, this is the first time this has happened to me in all my time on RGT. I don't know what the problem is here, and I don't know how to fix it. So, unless the screen changes over when the event actually starts in a few minutes' time, I'm stuffed because I have no idea what it is I'm supposed to do. This is not what you normally see. Normally, you see riders at the start line, and away we'd go. So I'm really at a bit of a loss as to what's going on here. Now I've got a join event. Okay, let's go then. Okay, forget the first part of what I've just said. It's now letting me in, but that's cutting it fine, guys. 6 minutes before the event, allowing people to join. You've got 96 riders signed up. That's, yeah, 6 minutes to go, and how many? 11 riders online so far. Okay. Now it should be noted for this 10-mile time trial, it's a cycling time trials 10-mile event, and I won't be taking part. I will be covering it, so I will have to turn the pedals, uh, but I won't actually be getting a time in the time trial because I'm not going to be riding it. And this should be quite interesting because yeah, it should be quite interesting. The riders go off every 10 seconds, apparently. So I'll try to cover all the riders going off as best as I can by switching the riders. Now, I assume the first rider is the one at the top of the list. If that's the case, let's see if it's putting me in. Yeah, there we go. And again, it seems to be just okay. Supposed to change using the page up, page down button. It's supposed to. Let's try page up, no, page down, no. Really there we go. Now, that's working, but you can see it's not jumping one person at a time. Uh, I'm really at a loss with this software. I don't know what's supposed to happen here. Well, I know what the instructions say. The instruction says it moves one rider at a time, but it's not doing it. I'm going to turn the rider list on and off in the GUI. Okay, rider list off and turn it back on again. Back on. And now let's see where. Okay, how am I supposed to cover this event if I can't jump from person to person? This is total pants. I'm hating this. I'm absolutely hating this because I don't like it when I can't. I mean, I don't know how to get to the leader. Okay. So now that should take me to the first rider off. But I don't think he is going to be the first rider. This is crazy. This is just stupid. Okay. I'll just do the best I can. Just do what I can, but I don't like the format of this because if I can't change riders one at a time and I can't go in the list, I don't really realistically know how I'm supposed to cover the event. I wanted to try and get every rider, but if it's... Let's see what happens when it actually starts. See if there's any... So page up and home. Home is supposed to... Home takes me to me, my bot, and end should take me to the first rider, I believe. Let's have a look. Oops. Yeah, end takes me to the lead rider, so I should now be on the lead rider if the software is to be believed. Instructions. So we'll see what happens. I'm sorry about this, folks. I'm trying to learn this interface and I don't know if it's working correctly. Okay, so no, Smith's gone away. Has he? No, he hasn't. Okay, so it's moving people. Ah, there we go. Okay. So there you've got Steve Smith. And following behind. Okay, so yeah, it does look like I'm going to be able to cover it, but not the starters. Um, yeah, let's edge down. Jones, Garwood, Hodges, Jennings hasn't started yet. Howcroft is just away. Yeah, so Jennings is next. There's Snedden. Jennings hasn't started yet. That's Cooper. Yeah, so Jennings next. Okay, once the race is underway, once people have started, then I'll start to catch up with folks for you. This is a pretty difficult format to. Okay, so Jennings is off and then I'm off. Now I have to pedal, I have to start the event, otherwise it's going to kick me out. There's Jennings, and I go in 10 seconds. So I might be able to cover this event better the next time I try it, purely and simply because now I know I know how it's working off the start line. So okay, there we go. Okay, that's me. I'm stopping there, and let's now find out how Mr. Smith's doing. Okay. 41.4 kilometers per hour. Let's have a look at the next rider. 40.9. No. Okay. Garwood at 40. Significant difference in speed you can see, and in what kilos from HR. James Hodges, Howcroft, Mr. Snedden, who seems to be catching. Oh. So here we go. Cooper's actually catching his 10-second man. Now there's no drafting in this event, so even if he pulls up behind him, drafting is turned off, so he's not going to get any benefit. The only benefit you get from seeing the rider in front of you, as you can see here, is a visual. I like the idea of that, actually. I like the idea of a visual carrot, so to speak. And you can see Wilms is passing Mr. Snedden in a moment. It's just past Howcroft. Oh no, he hasn't. No, Howcroft. Sorry, Howcroft's further up. Cooper. Here we go. So he's on his way. And the next rider, 82 meters back. And we have Mr. Smith, Mr. Jennings. There's a good way back. Being caught by Vancina, who's just about to catch and pass him. But there's a significant look at the difference in speeds. I'll just, you see 34.7, and he's just taken him at 42. So significant difference in speed, which is why he's going past him so quickly. And leaving Mr. Jennings in his wake, and then here comes Mr. Dyer, and he's going to whiz past too, because he's doing significantly more. Mr. Mills, he's a good way down the field now, a good way off his 10-second man. Ruby looks to be pushing a big gear, similar to what I do. This. Alice. I'm going to have to shift through them pretty quickly now, because I want to get back to the lead rider and see how the lead rider's doing. We don't want to not be catching. Oh, Mr. Gill has just absolutely shot past. Willie, Winsworth, Rankin, Staley, Lithgow catching Staley, Bergant catching Orme, Hunt, Salisbury, Campbell, Hitchcock, Besic, me, Burns, Newton Jones, Shalika, and there's Mr. Gordon. So the next rider's just getting off. So I'm gonna get back to the front and see how Mr. Okay, a third of the distance gone in 7 minutes. So he's looking at this. He's looking at a 21-minute time. Maybe just under. My best time is a 21-minute on this course in real life, the V718. So it's a course that we used to travel to pretty regular from my home in Yorkshire. Beautiful course, flat course. Some people say it's a little bit dangerous because it's on a dual carriageway, but it's a cracking course. For those that don't know, it's out Hull way, the other side of Hull. Is it? Oh, is it this the one that's up? No. Yeah, it's out Hull way. Yeah, let's have a look at the next rider back and compare distances. 608, 590. Okay. Keeping a nice speed. Inches. Good gaps between all these riders. Although HR's being caught by Wooms. Will MSN. I don't know how to pronounce that, but I'll just say Will. Three riders closing up on each other. And then Cooper coming up behind. Ah, that's a bright red TT suit. This is a lot different to trying to cover a race. Covering a race is a lot easier than this. This is just a case of flicking backwards and forwards between the riders and trying to show everybody on the road. And in fact, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back to, there's the last rider. So let's go. There we go. So Drew, it's just starting off. So how many more have we got to go? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Another 8 riders, if the list is to be believed, to go. Hawkins just getting off and Glover just starting his run. You can see from the interface it's saying 67 riders online, so that's a good turnout. I'm pleased to get that on a real life evening 10. Like I say, I used to ride this one pretty regular. We travel over, we being my late wife. Becky Meisen just starting his run. Quickly up to speed, you can see that's a good start. Yeah, nice start speed. If he can maintain that, he'll do well. And then here we go with the last man out, Mr. Pyrus. Steady start. Time trialing is a funny animal, certainly the shorter ones, because you're never quite sure if you're starting fast enough or if you go out too fast. I certainly, with my breathing problems, if I go out too fast and end up not being able to get my breath, it's detrimental. So I tend to start slow and try to build it up. Whereas some people like to do a really fast start and then settle down into a steady pace. Okay, let's get back to the leader, Steve Smith. And he's been followed by Mr. Jones. Now you can see from the rider list he's 90 odd meters behind Smith leading, and then the next rider on the road. And that's the halfway point. It's just past them now. That's what the yellow banner designates. Nice tussle here, so we'll just watch this one, see what happens. Who's the fastest of the three? It looks like Dyer is going to come on past them both. There we go. Yeah. And I think it's very likely he's going to catch Mr. Smith shortly. Let's just look at the difference in speed. Yeah, there you go. 37.4, 37.5, and 38. So he's doing just over half a kilometre per hour faster. So it's going to take him a good while to close the gap unless he changes pace. So, and you got Mr. Snedden, who's quickly catching HR. And again, I'm going to look at this is interesting to look at. Look at the speeds, 34.2 and Snedden doing 37. So he's coming upon him pretty fast. And there will be no drafting effect even if this was real life, because he's going to go past fairly quickly and be well out in front within a couple of seconds. Okay, let's move further back down the field, see what's happening. Sorry, we're going the wrong way. One day I will get used to this software. So we've got Smith and Dyer battling it out. Following on behind. Some Trilby. They're doing very close to the same speed as each other, so they're gonna be riding together for a little while, I suspect. Rankin's motoring along. Kill behind, but not closing. Now this guy is motoring, but he is on the downhill section, but he's fairly motoring. Nice, nice speed. Yeah, changing pace here as people come down the slope. And again, that's a valid tactic in time trials. I know this slope, and if you get it in the big ring little cog and really shunt it out, you can close up on riders in front, but you pay for it later on in the time trial. I'm just gonna, where are we at, Shalika? Let's how many more have we got? I don't want to get caught out and not be covering. Ah, there's a turn. Yeah. Where do I remember that? Page catching Hodges. See the riders in front. Don't worry, folks. I'll get back to the leaders in a moment. I'll just quickly finish going down the list. Okay, back to the leader. And Jones has taken over the lead from Steve Smith. Let's see if we can change the camera view. I don't know whether it will work in the time trial mode. What about the drone view? Does it change? Ah, it does, yes. So race mode will give us, yeah. See if we can zoom out a bit. It's not letting me zoom. I just have to do a couple of pedal strokes just to stay in the race. Just that beeping you heard was my alarm going off to remind me. Okay, so Jones is coming up to the finish now. Here we go. 100 meters and closing. 23 dead, I think. So Jones at the moment with a 23 dead. Smith with a 23.36. Garwood with a 23.11. Looks like a 23.03. And 23.06. Oh, this is fast. This is looking good. 22.44, I think. I think that's the leader. Van Sina is the leader at the moment with 22.44. .24.06. I'm calling the times. They may not be accurate, guys and girls. Just realise that I'm simply watching them going under the blue banner and calling the times out. At the moment, I have Van Sina PDL in the lead with a 22.44, but that might be incorrect. It'll be close enough. He's definitely in the lead. Dyer gets a 24. Whoa! Look at the Clay's going. Gets a 23.26. Mr. Smith with 24.42. Howcroft with, he's going to come in just 25.55. $27.02. This with a 25.15. Banken with a good time of a 23.41. Mills 26.17. Bergant 23.34. I haven't been paying attention. This might be our first female home. $26.43. Good effort at the finish, Mr. Gill. 25.28. Mr. Woolley caught by Mr. Hitchcock with almost a dead heat. And Mr. Barg has gone past. He's going to come home just outside the 24. $24.09. And Mr. Jennings with a 28.56. Now I know a Karen Unsworth, but that's not this gentleman. Whoa! Whoosh. He's finishing fast. 23.31. And Unsworth 26.37. Salisbury's putting in a good finish. $25.39. Swallow 27.56. Heaton Jones 24.48. Whoa, coming thick and fast now. Sorry, I'm missing a few. A bit too trying to catch them one at a time. Mr. Gordon 24.46. Is that the lot? Is that everybody? We've still got riders out on the course. No, I don't think so. This is surely not. No, are they still? Yep, still racing. I see, we've got a few that have stopped here. Okay, Mr. Campbell coming in. 26.50. Lift go. $28.13. Fast arrive from Mr. Page coming in. 24.32. Good ride. Mr. Burns 26.48. Bookings. It's a good ride. 23:02. Hodges, 25:41. Swiester. Oh, this is a fast time. This is the current leader. 22:18. Okay. 22:18 is currently leading it. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he's fellow Dutchman, Swiester. Dodsworth coming in, 26:48. Sorry, 26:55. Scanlon, 24:53, and George just behind him. Hutchinson, 25:12. Millward, 27:02, and Bob behind. Glover coming in, another good ride. 24:26. Conville, good ride too. 24:15. Allen with a 24:53. Alexander, 27:41. Even with a 26:28. Now Becky, 25:23. Meisen, 25:21. Daly giving it a good push for the finish. Come on, girl. Nearly there. 32:55. Shiparu, 28:15. Carter 29.41. Getting towards the end now. Okay, Pybus. 27.11. And GMC. The final slope. Legs are screaming at you by the time you get to this point, obviously. $31.12. Okay, and I think the final rider, this is Mr. Druitt, but I think Porter is just riding home. I don't think he's actually racing anymore. Either that or he's got an injury. And Druitt is effectively going to be last man home. If you discount me in 30.01. Oh, Porter's decided to start riding, so yeah. Okay, here we go. Can he break 30? Can he get there in time? Come on, lad. Come on, get there. No, he's going to be just outside 30. Oh no, this is the 1 kilometre to go. Silly me, 1 kilometre to go. So it's been a difficult event to cover this because I didn't know the format from the start. I didn't know how it was going to play out. I've tried to do the best job I could. I promise it will be better next time. But at least we've seen all the riders coming home, and we've got the times, albeit just the rough times. That'll give us the winner. Now, as soon as Mr. Porter does get home, I'll scroll up the list. Okay, probably 31.40, maybe. It's slowing dramatically. Come on, come on, come on, keep it going. Keep it going. I know you're tired. Here we go. Push it out to the finish. Well done. Okay. So a 31.58 to finish with. Okay, let's go back. So okay, so riders have left the event after they've finished, so they're not appearing in the rider list. So I assume we now have to wait until hopefully not until I finish the event, because that's going to be a long time, 15.6 kilometers to do. But hopefully the event will come to an end, and we'll get a leaderboard on screen. If not, then we'll close it down and we'll have to wait for the online version. I don't know how this works. I'm going to have to catch up with Steve and find out what the format is. The software might actually be waiting for me to finish the race, in which case I've miscalculated, because I thought I could get away without riding, and I'm certainly not going to start riding now to cover the distance, because it's going to take me best part of half an hour. So you would think it would recognise the fact that there's no riders moving on the course and come to an end. And, okay. Now that's the 25-minute timer, and apparently it kicks you out after 30 minutes of non-cycling. So I'll give it 5 minutes to see what happens. Whether it always seems like an eternity when you're waiting around. As I say, I wonder if there's a way of doing spectate mode. Oh, there we go. So it's showing me now, and hopefully the fact that I'm not cycling will tell the software to end the event, and then we should get the list of riders. That's what I would expect, but I really don't know, guys. And girls. I'm going blind here because I've not been using this software long enough to know exactly what does happen in this scenario. I've covered one race the other night, and I got that wrong by not pedaling, so it kicked me out of the race after 30 minutes. So I actually did pedal tonight to stay in the race to be able to cover it, but the ideal would be to be able to cover an event like this without actually joining. And then if it is actually waiting for me here, if it is waiting for me to finish the course, then that's pretty poor on my part. I shouldn't be a contestant. But if the software, in order to use the spectate mode, you have to be a contestant, then I don't have a choice. But these are all things which I will iron out and sort out. And then, in the future, when I'm doing these live streams, they'll be a bit more polished. And certainly I'll have a better idea of what's happening and what's coming up, what the format is. No, it's showing one rider online, so that's me. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this down now, and I don't think it's going to give us our rider list. Actually, I've got another minute to go, so I'll wait another minute because then my 30 minutes is up, and if it doesn't actually close me down, um, we'll call it a night. It's not like covering a race. When you're covering a race, you can follow the riders. You can follow the riders that are in the lead group. You can follow the groups behind. I really do like this software in terms of being able to follow a race. Um, I imagine, like Mike Lister, once you get used to using it, he's been using the beta version, so he's pretty polished with it. And I've watched some of his videos, and he does a fantastic job commentating and covering events. And that's where I want to be. I want to, I want to be able to cover different events. Um, but I need to first of all learn the software, and I need to find out, exactly what it's doing. I'm blind at the moment because I just don't know. Okay, we're 30 minutes is up just about. Just while we're waiting, if you look over on the right hand side of the screen, I really like the effect that they've got the wind blowing the grass about. That looks really, really cool. I don't know if it'll show my mouse pointer on screen, but just over on the left-hand side, the grass blowing in the wind. That's pretty cool. Okay, I'm closing it down. It's not gonna, it doesn't appear to be wanting to kick me out, so I'm going to call it a night at that. There we go. I mean, I only averaged 1 watt of power, so okay. If you've watched this far, thanks for watching. I promise you the broadcast will get better. This has been a test and only my second event, and that being a time trial made it pretty difficult. But we got through it. I got all the riders coming over the line, so hopefully you've enjoyed it. And if you did, hit the like button. If you didn't, hit the dislike button. And you might want to subscribe for more videos coming up in the future. Many thanks.